Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hey, it's Amy Brown from The Bobby Bones Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.
The lottery is not about getting rich. It's about helping people, and it always has been. The lottery is what helped raise the Great Wall of China, build the roads of Rome, and today in South Carolina, it's what generates millions of dollars each year for scholarships like the SC Hope, Life, and Palmetto Fellows. The South Carolina Education Lottery is investing in you. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to learn more.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
She's Claudine Cooper, exercise lady. On Wellness Wednesday, exercise lady. She will teach you all there is about wellness and fitness. And as her motto says, a short workout is better than no workout. Oh, better than no workout, baby.
KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. It's now time to talk to the nice exercise lady, Claudine Cooper, who's been away for a couple weeks. It's good to see you, Claudine, and she joined us in studio.
It's great to be back. I'm sorry I brought my raspy voice with me, but I have taught 21 classes
21?
in the last 2 weeks. So I've been yelling at people, so I don't know if you can call me the nice exercise lady anymore.
Oh, word!
Exactly, because they're mad at me right now.
When you're yelling at someone, do sometimes they take offense at that, or do they understand?
I've had people walk out of my class flat out.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you're yelling at them, are you yelling pointedly? It's like, all right, Christine, I need you to pick it up.
Absolutely not. I would never. But I do a blanket. I'm trying to help you guys get the results that you say you want. So if I have to light a fire, I have to light a fire.
Fire. I sent you a story today because I don't think about this, but you probably have. Mm-hmm. There's a Colorado fitness program for seniors, which is incorporating a variety of exercises to not only improve wellness, but it's conscious of avoiding or limiting injury. I haven't thought about that, but how often do you have to think about that as far as you doing those 21 classes, variety of ages, variety of health conditions, variety of limitations?
I always say it's all shapes, all sizes. How do I incorporate my knowledge about injuries and age and all these different things? Usually what I do is, just to keep myself safe, I say, if you feel like something could potentially injure you, please don't do it. Even if I'm saying to do it, ignore me for your safety.
Yeah, that's where I usually get in trouble because male ego will take over. And I'm determined, and I'm self-aware in this regard, I'm determined to keep up, probably to my detriment at times.
Yeah.
And I could see a situation where people are like, okay, I'm doing this because it's going to be good for my health. And maybe they should not be doing it at that pace or that level of rigorousness.
I mean, they'll be all right. You were all right after my workout, weren't you, Mo?
Yeah, I was, but I'm not sedentary either.
Exactly. So here's my point. A lot of times what you have in these situations, I'll just tell the listeners about the article a little bit more. There's two guys, each of them passionate about fitness. One of them passionate about rehabilitation and recovery. And then the other one, his mother had dementia and a stroke. So he got firsthand knowledge of what it's like to watch someone age, and he is passionate about health. So these two guys come together, and what they do is they go into retirement communities and they give them like a prescription of what they should be offering for the seniors. Now, my grandmother lives in a retirement community, and she too has group fitness classes.
Let me stop right there.
Yes.
You still have grandparents?
I have one grandma.
That is a blessing.
I
Oh, my
know.
goodness.
I know. 90 this year. So,
Oh, my God. I've had a grandparent since 2003.
wow. Well, I'm a little younger than you, but I mean,
I'll let that fly.
But yes, I do still, and she's active, and she lives in a retirement community. There's two things at play. When you live in a retirement community, you're more likely to socialize with your fellow community members, right? Now, the second thing is these two guys put the group fitness programming into the retirement community. What's better than getting up and going dancing, stretching, strengthening, Tai Chi? I mean, they've got all this stuff with the people you already connect with when you're, walking around the little neighborhood there.
It's kind of like college.
Actually, it feels a lot like my gym because I set the programming in such a way that I felt like it would be connective for people. And that's what group fitness is supposed to be.
I wonder, have you started having that internal conversation with yourself? You have said something to the effect of, I don't go hard all the time like I used to when I was younger as far as your teaching, but do you apply that to yourself in any way?
Oh, I definitely give myself a lot more grace now than I used to. I'm not, no, I'm not playing. And when I say to my members, hey guys, make sure you're listening to your body, it's because I'm listening to my body. But like today, for example, I taught a class, my voice is gone. So I had to do a lot of physical cues. Somebody said, well, we can tell by how you were moving. You don't feel too bad, do you? Because I still have the physical ability to exercise. My voice is gone from yelling, but other than that, yeah, I'm good.
I'm always conscious of the status of my voice because I need it every single day. And I'm always aware of how much I'm using it outside of here, how loud I may be using it outside of here, my dietary intake, because I almost drink no dairy now because it will coat my throat, and it's much easier for me to have issues with my voice. I say all that to say, what are the things that you're conscious of to make sure that you are at your best when you're doing what you do?
Oh, I don't know. What do I do?
I mean, you don't just work out aimlessly.
I do not work out aimlessly. I do take my time with the exercises these days. I'm a little slower. I don't jump as much as I used to. I used to do a lot of high intensity training. I don't do a lot of that anymore. I'm trying to protect my knees.
Yes, I get that. Knock on wood, I haven't had any problem with my knees. I'm always conscious of my hips. I feel it in my hips. I feel the almost 40 years of kicking in my hips. And so I wish you could see this. I stretch every day.
Oh, yeah.
I stretch multiple times at different points of the day. Like I've been sitting in this chair for almost an hour. I'll probably walk around and do some light stretching before this show's over. There are times that you've seen it. We come in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing this show standing up. Why? To give myself some vertical stretching.
Yes, absolutely. And going from standing or sitting to standing is one of the ways that we can continue to mobilize our body, right? It's not a big deal and it's not a huge change to a person's lifestyle, but with the phones and the TVs and the laptops and the iPads, we're on our butt way more than we should be.
Okay, I want to ask you a personal question before we go to break.
Okay.
When you don't have a voice like this, does your husband take advantage and sort of just take liberties where
sure.
Like he can't hear you? It's like, huh? I can't hear you. Did you say something?
I'll tell you this. He's probably glad I can't talk too much. I'm trying to protect my voice. Okay, Mo?
All right. It's later with Mo Kelly, the nice exercise lady, Claudine Cooper, who I guess wasn't as nice as she usually is as she's struggling with her voice, joins us in...
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com.
Got it.
Step 2, collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3, play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4, unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Amy Brown from The Bobby Bone Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.
Okay, real talk. We're all kind of hooked on our phones. It's full of shiny apps designed to keep your attention captive forever. But there's real life stuff to do other than scrolling, and I'm here to help. I'm Christina Quinn, the host of Try This, a podcast from The Washington Post. The show explores solutions for life's common problems. And this season, we're learning to tame the dopamine beast and reclaim our attention in this noisy and distracting world. So let's tame the beast together. Find Try This from The Washington Post wherever you listen.
Studio.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. I'm joined in studio by the nice exercise lady, Claudine Cooper, who joins us, who is struggling with her voice. I don't want that to surprise you if you're just tuning in right now.
It's just a little raspy tonight. They'll be okay.
Okay. All right. But I always want to make sure we make time for you to tell people about what you do each and every Saturday, especially since we're well into spring now, moving towards summer. There is an outdoor option for people. A free option for people to go ahead and get their workout on.
And it's all levels, just like I said earlier. So all levels are welcome, all ages. There's a lot of families that come out. It's a free outdoor workout, and it's in Inglewood at the Hollywood Park Retail District at 9 a.m. every Saturday, and it's totally free. Also, there's a farmer's market, so you can go get your workout, leave the workout, go get a fresh pressed juice, kale, whatever.
It is a great experience, and I don't know how you manage it because some people may show up a little later. You don't know who is going to show up. You don't know, like you may have in your mind, I'm going to do this, I may do that, but depending on the clientele who shows up, going back to our conversation last segment, I was there where you see someone who's on the other side of 65.
Oh yeah, definitely. And beyond. But, I believe everybody has the ability to rise to the occasion, Mo. And even if they can't keep all the way up, sometimes just being in community with people is the uplifting medicine. And I think this article that you sent me earlier about the retirement community having group fitness is a very good demonstration of how community can make the aging process a lot more tolerable. You have people who are connecting in a social way as well as in a healthy way of doing movement, and they're living longer.
And not only that, I can only speak for what I've seen with your group.
Yep.
People are encouraging each other.
They are
not competing. So. There's a difference. And I've been in places where people are obviously showing off and competing.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to encouraging one another.
You know, it was funny, Mo. I think 2 weeks ago, we got kicked out of our space where we normally do the workout. And, you know, it was no big deal. It was just they were having something for the soccer semifinals or something on that area. So I didn't really know where we would go, but I knew that if I gathered everyone together, that, like you said, they would encourage each other and we would just figure it out. Well, we didn't have any music or anything. We're just kind of like just standing there. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I got to tell you, the way things always seem to work out for these free workouts cannot be described as anything but divine. So I have no music. I've got about 50 people waiting for a workout, and I'm like, where are we going to go? They're all looking at me like, where we go and where we, and I'm like, okay, so let me figure this out. I walk a little ways. I tell them, let's go for a walk. And that's something I want to impress upon people. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. It doesn't have to be a gym membership or, group fitness classes. It can just be walking outside. And if you have a place that's not that safe and you want to find somewhere where you can walk, a lot of parks have trails, well-lit trails. I'm not sure where everybody is, but my inner city park has a nice track. And so I say that to say going for a walk is enough. So we start walking together and we stumbled upon an outdoor restaurant that was basically playing the exact playlist that I would play if I was teaching a workout. So I look around, everybody's looking at me. No one's at the restaurant. The restaurant's completely empty. I'm like, this is the spot. We just start moving our bodies. The music's going. The owner of the restaurant comes out, sees us in the area of the patio and all this stuff doing our workout. He's like, let me turn that music up for you guys. And we had such a wonderful workout. But I just say that to say it always works out.
You mentioned walking, and not too long ago, you led the group, which included me, on a walk around that retail district. How has it changed, or put it in your words, how much it has changed that area in the past year or so?
I would like to say it's changed a lot, but the big change is that obviously Iconics, the gym that I work for, is there and bringing in a lot of foot traffic. And because of that, other businesses have opened up since then, but it's still not occupied to the place where we could just, hang out there all day. There's a couple little spots, but we need more businesses in Inglewood. We need grocery stores. We need salad spots. We need healthy fare. If anybody who's listening, we have spaces in the Hollywood Park Retail District, and we have tons of foot traffic from the gym. And we need healthy
really nice.
eats. It's so
really
nice.
Yes.
We do. So that's me making my plea because I love the new restaurant that's in there that allowed us to work out. It's called The Meeting Spot. I love it.
Yep.
But we need about 4 of those.
I'm going to be at The Meeting Spot a lot of the summer. It's an outdoor restaurant.
Yes.
And it's not far from the movies, which I usually go to get food. So I know exactly where you're talking about. That's going to be my hangout. But for people who've never been there, who expect possibly to join you this Saturday, again, please give them the information.
Basically, you would just go to the area around SoFi and you'll go to a complex called the Hollywood Park Retail District. We're right in the middle on the basketball court. Parking validated, farmers market. You'll see the movie theater. It's all right there.
The best place to park it, and when I go there, if you're going down Century, go north on Prairie. You'll make an immediate right, which is 97th Street, into that parking structure.
Easy work.
Easy to find it from there.
Yes.
You can just follow the screaming of people, passing out from.
No, we're singing. You'll follow the joyful noise.
Claudine Cooper, always great to see you.
Always great to be here, and I plan to be back next week.
Now let your voice rest the rest of the evening. Can you do that?
I will.
It's Later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640, live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And you may have noticed this. If not, let me fill you in. We have talked on the show about the price of tickets, how I would not ever go to a music concert anymore just because of the price of tickets. It's ridiculous. They have dynamic pricing where it will fluctuate depending on demand. They had all these fees, which have since been removed due to a Biden administration move. But there still was an issue about the cost of tickets in this aftermarket. You had these bots and these ticket brokers buying up all these tickets, which were supposed to be available for concert goers like you and me, but then you'd have these bots buying up the tickets and then reselling them at ridiculous prices. To that end, the Trump administration issued an executive order last week, which directed the Federal Trade Commission to work with the DOJ to ensure that competition laws are enforced in the concert and entertainment industry. It's called the BOTS Act, the Better Online Ticket Sales, and it pushes state consumer protection authorities on enforcement, or at least that's the intention. The president, you might have seen the video by now and pictures. He was joined in the Oval Office by singer Kid Rock. Real interesting outfit he was wearing. who said computer bot purchases of tickets were hurting artists and their fans. I don't know if it was hurting artists, but I can say that it was definitely hurting fans. And if fewer people were buying tickets, then by extension, it was probably hurting artists.
I think it's hurting artists in that artists are not getting the markup. Artists are getting the price of what the tickets are when they're sold.
Mm-hmm.
When you have these bots buy them and they're selling them at these aftermarket sites, no artist is getting that aftermarket cost. Artists are getting what the face value of the tickets, and that's what President Biden established. Like, this is the cost of the ticket, this is the taxes, the service charges, all that. So everything's factored in, so everyone knows what they're getting paid on the artist and venue side. But then you have these bots that are buying these tickets and buying them at $150 and then turning around and selling them at $200, $300, $400 a pop.
How about $4,000?
Even better.
Yes. When it came to the Taylor Swift tickets and also the Beyonce tickets,
yes,
they were 100 times markup.
Yes, absolutely. And that is not going back to the artist. That's how the artists suffer, but also how the fans suffer. Like right now, my co-parent literally just finished the purchase of the tickets and the tour package and all that to go and see Billie Eilish in London at the O2 Arena. Floor seats, O2 Arena in London for her and our daughter to go and see this show this summer. And still, that's cheaper. Tickets, hotel, ground transportation, airfare and all that is cheaper than seeing Billie Eilish here, because the tickets that were available here are already at a piece, like some $2,000 and $3,000 that they're trying to sell on the aftermarket.
Okay, this is your daughter, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is your daughter who was able to go see Taylor Swift.
Yes.
This is your daughter who was able to go see Beyonce.
Yes.
This is your daughter who's been on cruises.
Who plural, who has seen probably every play that we advertise.
Hamilton,
for
how many times?
Hamilton, like 3, to the point where she's like, I don't know about this cast. I don't know about this lineup for Hamilton tonight. I've seen them before. I like the other cast. I like the New York cast.
She knows that this is not normal, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Something we impress upon our children is experiences versus gifts. Things that they will remember forever and ever and ever. And even today we were talking about it as we were getting her passport at the passport office. She was like, I don't know if I've ever received I haven't received a birthday gift in a minute. It's like, no, you have not, but you've received these experiences and these memories. This is what you should cherish, because I said, where is your Christmas present from 2 years ago? And she instantly went,
Yeah, I do appreciate talking about concerts and going to see performances, stage shows. I do appreciate my parents having the forethought to say, no, you're coming to see this. You're coming to see Lena Horne, a lady in her music. You're coming to see, Duke Ellington's Sophisticated Ladies. I appreciate it, but I didn't fully appreciate it until I got older and people could say, wait a minute, you saw the Lena Horne live? And it's like, yeah. Didn't all y'all see Lena Horne?
Right.
She was in LA for like weeks.
Nah, we were too busy playing with something that we lost, weeks later.
Yeah, it means a lot. And I was teasing you, but I'm also saluting you to make sure that your daughter has these experiences, not only to see the artist, but to travel and see the world. Travel is something else, which I think changes you as a person. I know I'm digressing, but it's important here. I honestly believe we would not have so much political acrimony if more people traveled and saw the world from outside the United States, looked at the world through other people's eyes. I'll give you a perfect example. Not that I didn't have an appreciation. I never had a greater appreciation for those who may come to this country and not know the language than when I was in Spain for 3 weeks. And if you've never been to Spain, it's like this. English ain't the second language. It's maybe the fourth language. You're not going to hear English anywhere except the high-end areas. You're only going to hear it in hotels. You're only going to hear it in maybe some of the high-end restaurants. You're not going to hear it back then when you're going to get into a cab. You're not going to hear it when you're in a shop. And you're only going to get respect if you attempt to speak Spanish, not come in and start speaking English. They'll look at you like, you lazy mother, father American. But the moment I started speaking Spanish, and you find yourself, I'm not there now because you have to use it every day. I was fluent in about a week. Did I know everything? No, but I was fluent because you're not allowed to think in English. You have to think in Spanish. That changes your whole perspective about when you come somewhere and expect them to assimilate and learn the language. It's not as easy as you think. Imagine being in a country where you don't know the language per se, and you are dependent upon trying to figure out how to have your food cooked, how to find out. Here's another perfect example. I was trying to find out where the bus was. And I was saying, I was basically saying, for those who don't speak Spanish, I was saying, where's the MTA? That's what I was saying. But in Spain, the MTA, oh no, excuse me, I had it backwards. I was saying, where's the ATM? Because I wanted to find a cash machine. Well, when you say ATM, that's like the bus system in Spain. So I asked for and when you learn the language, you learn how to say something, but not necessarily how to receive what they're going to tell you. Like I can say, Tuala, where's the liquor store? And you may say, man, you need to go down here. You're going to make a right at the corner. There's going to be this homeless person sitting on the street. That's Paul. Going to go to the left, and it's going to be right on your right. That's how people respond to your questions, and you have to figure it out from there. It's one thing when you say, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? And then they give you an answer, which is about 14 sentences. Oh, since you asked. Yeah, you're talking about the one down in Las Ramblas, or you talking about the one on the other side of town?
They love to talk, man.
Oh, yeah.
They love to talk.
Point is, travel changes you in a positive way. And you will not be so single-minded about the idea of immigration or learning a language or cultural assimilation. And there's something else. When you go to Spain, it took me 3 days to figure out that Spanish is the co-national language. They were speaking Spanish and Catalan. I didn't know what Catalan was when I got in the country. Catalan is like a mix of Spanish and French and Latin. It's like I only understand like every 4 or 5 words. Yeah, fool, it's a different language.
Damn.
It will change. It will just change you, But let me get off my soapbox. But kudos to you for making sure that your daughter has been able to see the world and also have experiences more so than things.
But if we can control the cost of tickets here, then, she'll be able to see more shows here. Is the grand.
All right, point. Daddy Warbucks. You're financing all this.
No, I'm just saying you'll be able to see more shows here, that are not as expensive as No,
I'm with this executive order. I really am. As someone who's a veteran of the music industry, I've seen how this has become out of control and unaffordable and ridiculous as far as the cost of concert tickets. When we say such and such tickets are going on sale right now, you won't get any of those tickets because the bots buy them all up, and then you have to go to third-party ticket brokers, and you're paying 10 times the amount.
Yeah,
if you're lucky. It's later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640 live.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Amy Brown from The Bobby Bone Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.
There's an efficient way to get caught up on a lot of news. It's called The 7 from The Washington Post. It's a newsletter and podcast. Whether you're reading or hit play, you get 7 stories you need to know, and you can consume it all in just a few minutes. The 7 is out every weekday morning by 7 a.m. Eastern. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'm one of the writers, and I host the show. Find The 7 podcast wherever you're listening. The newsletter link is waiting for you in the show notes.
Everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Last segment, we started off talking about the latest executive action by President Trump, which was directed at having a more competitive and fair marketplace when it came to ticket purchases. I think all of us have purchased a ticket at some point to go to a concert. And if you've done it in recent years, you know that the prices have gone, when we say through the roof, I don't think that actually does it justice. It's beyond that. It got to the point of being ridiculous as far as the markup. You'd have tickets go on sale. And no matter what, even if you were right there trying to buy tickets, you most likely couldn't buy them because they would have these things called bots, which would buy up the tickets, third-party ticket sellers, resellers, and then they would resell it to the actual public for at least 10 times the face value of the ticket. When you have places like Ticketmaster, which would also introduce dynamic pricing relative to demand, it would escalate the price even more. It was a lose-lose situation for any concert goer, and it usually priced regular people out of the market for seeing their favorite artists. Depending on where you live in the country, you will only have one chance to see your favorite artist if that singer or performer goes on tour and comes to your town. Let's say you live in Des Moines, Iowa. It may not come to Des Moines, but it might be in Dubuque. So you have to drive to the other side of the state for that one opportunity to see a Taylor Swift or a Beyonce. Tickets are limited to begin with, and then you have to pay basically these hostage prices if you want to go, and that's saying of nothing of purchasing multiple tickets. So this executive action was to address that, and it's non-specific. Let me be clear. Even though I'm for it, I am not I'm not tricking myself into thinking that this is going to change everything immediately. It is an act which is saying that the Justice Department is going to work closely with the Federal Trade Commission in identifying the bad actors and then pursuing them and making sure that in this Bots Act that there is a better online experience and people will have more access to these tickets. And then we digress. We were talking about Tawala and his daughter, how she's going to see Billie Eilish somewhere around the world. And because when it comes down to it, it costs less to travel internationally and see your favorite artists as opposed to seeing that same artist here in the United States. And the digression went like this. I was complimenting Tawala not only for making sure that his daughter and by extension his son have these experiences as opposed to things. The experiences last with us for life. I took it one step further, and I was saying that travel as an experience changes us. I think it improves us. I have an explicit agreement with my wife where we want to hit a different continent each time we travel. Well, obviously the pandemic got in the way of that in recent years, but now we're getting back to that. We went to Korea. That was my first time in Asia last year. I grew as a person. Again, and I'm in a place where I largely do not speak the language. I have a few phrases and some general understanding of Korean. And when you're in South Korea, it's another place where they appreciate the attempt because it shows respect of the culture, respect for the culture, and knowledge of the culture. You're not just some traveling idiot who's just there to buy stuff. You actually have an interest in the country, and you've obviously done some homework to be better suited, because especially in a country like South Korea, it's all about respect. When you greet someone, they have a reverence for someone who is older. They don't look down on people who are older in the way that we do here in the United States. There's a way that you greet an older person. There's a way that you, like, for example, if someone is going to hand you your food or hand you just your keys to your hotel room. It's always done with two hands. And what I mean by two hands is they'll extend one hand to give you the object, and your other hand is laid across your arm. Everything is done in a very particular way. And if you know how to do that, you're treated differently. Travel changes you in a way that only people who've traveled, I think, fully understand. There's something valuable about learning about different cultures. There's something, I would say, intrinsically valuable about not thinking that the United States is the center of the world. It really isn't. And you don't appreciate that until you actually go somewhere else. I'm not talking about going to the Mexican Riviera. I'm talking about a different continent.
With this BOTS Act and how frequently you all travel, I wonder if something like this will be then put across all second party ticket sellers, wherein you may have travel companies who are jacking up the prices on travel packages that they may secure versus you being able to go and get it, say, directly through the sales company itself. I'm just trying to think, could this also help for someone like yourself who travels?
I would say no, if only because there's more competition in the travel market where they can compete against each other. Part of the problem is there wasn't any real competition. You have like Ticketmaster, which is a function of Live Nation. There's only like one real ticket provider, and you have a dozen different resellers, and you'd have Live Nation only allowing so many tickets available to the public. And then you have these third-party resellers getting a lot of those tickets, which were available supposedly to the public. And so the American consumer always lost out. And that's why you're seeing so many people who are willing to travel to see a concert outside the parameters of this country.
Okay.
KFI AM 640, we're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Chock full of stimulating talk. KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hey, it's Amy Brown from The Bobby Bone Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.
The lottery is not about getting rich. It's about helping people, and it always has been. The lottery is what helped raise the Great Wall of China, build the roads of Rome, and today in South Carolina, it's what generates millions of dollars each year for scholarships like the SC Hope, Life, and Palmetto Fellows. The South Carolina Education Lottery is investing in you. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to learn more.